Hi, everyone, and good afternoon. We are so glad that you are with us this afternoon for Canva for student use and capturing student learning with Canva, everybody's favorite creation tool. Am I right? My name is Kathy Angioni. I'm with the Department of Educational Technology in Palm Beach County, and I am joined by some of my friends here. We have John Shoemaker in the background. You'll see him in the chat as well. My buddy Gail, you'll see her in the chat. She is going to have a wrench next to her name, so she'll be answering some questions. So we definitely want you to engage with our presenter Janice from Canva. Use the chat, and not to be that person, but go ahead and like and subscribe to the EdTech channel so that you can get all of our updates, and that's where this video is going to be housed. So we'd love to have you come back and refer to this training if you have any questions during it. And thankfully, this is the final in a whole series of trainings that we've been doing today. However, all of these trainings are currently or will be later tonight available on the EdTech channel. So if you missed one, please come back and watch any of these trainings. And if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to any of us on the EdTech team. I see Gail is already chatting there. We have Janice from Canva. I know it says Khan Academy. We're trying to see who's paying attention here. Janice from Canva is going to be moderating, or not moderating, but facilitating the training today. And we are so happy to have her back with us. She's an all-star with our Canva trainings.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. So excited. And of course, this is one of my favorites because we are talking about student learning and how to really capture student learning, use Canva with students in the classroom. So really excited to dive in today. First things first, we are going to start with a little poll. So something really fun and exciting. If you're a Canva user, if you're new to Canva, as you log into Canva, you might notice in the top bar, there's a little banner that says Droptober. So about 2 weeks ago, we had a big release and Canva launched a bunch of new tools. They will slowly be rolling out over the course of the next few weeks. So between now and roughly like mid-November, so about November 19th is the target date, these tools will be 100% rolled out. And one of them, I've been with Canva for 3 years. One of them is one that I have been waiting on and I am so excited about. So I have a sneak preview of it. I know it's probably not out for everyone today, but I wanted to share because as we talk about student learning and using Canva with students, I think this is going to be such a powerful tool. So I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek next. So I know there'll be a link that gets dropped, but also there's a QR code. It's going to take a minute to load. So with Canva now, you can either scan that QR code, or I think we're going to drop a link in the chat right there. It's going to bring up this same slide for you. It is polling. We have polling and quizzes available in Canva, which means that formative assessment, interactivity. Oh, I see some voting coming in. This is so fantastic. So this is so exciting. If you want to take a minute and vote, whether you use the link in the chat or scan this with your phone, it should pop up the ability to click on one of these options. You just pick the one that you want and it will answer for you. So it's just a quick poll. Again, don't stress out if you can't get to it. I just wanted to highlight the fact that we're building in this interactivity into Canva, and I'm so excited for it. On my end, so this is the preview of what you're seeing, but on the sort of back end of it, it looks something like this. So I can see my poll here. And then when I click on that poll, I can see those responses coming in. So if you're logged into Canva, sometimes it will allow you to see that. If you're not, you don't have to be. It will also just drop it in here. So it'll show me who's answering and things like that. I can also, if I answer my own, let's say I'm daily and I love Canva, it will show me what the percentage is as those adjust. So it's pretty exciting. I'm super excited that this will be an opportunity to engage with students more as you're creating materials for yourself, but students can also create these and enhance their own assignments and projects as well. We also have quizzes, and so that will allow you to have a right and wrong answer. So this one's just a poll where you were just able to select an option, but we're also going to have quizzes. So this is fun. You can see as people are voting, this is adjusting here as well. So super excited to just kind of give you a little sneak peek and a little preview of that. So I just wanted to highlight that's coming soon. Stay tuned in the next 2 weeks. It will show up, and I'll just give you a quick sneak peek of where you'll find those. Under Elements, and we're going to talk more about design today, but under that Elements tab, they're going to show up right here as their own sort of entity, and you'll have quizzes and polls. So I just wanted to highlight because I think that's so exciting to add some formative assessment and some interactivity in, and so that is where you will see those. So just wanted, and also this is a great idea, gives me a really good idea of where people are at with Canva. So sounds like we have a lot of first timers, so super excited to share this. And then a quick introduction to me. Like Kathy said, my name is Janice. I'm a Canva learning consultant. My main role with Canva is professional development. So I work with teachers all over the world to share how to use Canva in the classroom. I came from the classroom. I taught for 15 years, mostly in middle school, high school ELA. And then I was also an instructional tech coach. And I'm joining you from just outside Seattle. So we are in full fall swing today. And so I shared some of my favorite little fall graphics right now. I sort of love this watercolor style. So I loved these little guys and the pumpkins and this little tree. So these are just some of my favorite elements at the moment. When we dive into creating a little bit later, I'll show you how I found those. But these guys are so cute. So those are my favorite fall ones right now as well. I'm sure it's not quite feeling the same for you all as it is here. It is only 47 degrees today. So I'm jealous of your sunshine. All right, let's dive in. We have lots of new users, so we're going to start with just talking about what Canva is. Canva at its core is a visual communications platform. So anything you want to create or communicate, you can do that visually in Canva. And Canva truly has a full visual work suite. So we're going to talk about everything from documents to whiteboards. We'll touch on whiteboards today, presentation, social media, a full video editor, print products, and even websites. And Canva's mission is to empower everyone to create, collaborate, and communicate in the classroom and beyond. So turning teachers into creators and students into creators in an easy-to-use space. So let's talk about what you can do with Canva. So again, today the focus is really on how you can start using Canva with your students, how students can get in and create today. So what are some things you can do? So with Canva, you have access to over 80,000 education-specific templates, and so do your students. They also have access to over 3.6 million templates in our entire library, as well as 100 million graphics, elements, photos, things like that. So these lists, we use these in a lot of our trainings, and I know the text is really small. These are by no means every single thing you can create in Canva. It is just a broad list of template collections that we do have. So not every single thing, just kind of a good variety. And it just really goes to show, we're going to talk about a lot of these today, about all the different things you can do and that your students can do when using Canva in the classroom. All right, so how can Canva be used to capture the student learning journey? One of the other things I really love about Canva is that we're not just focused on those kind of project-based pieces. We are also talking about that entire learning journey from beginning to end. So we're going to start with that idea of executive functioning. So as we think about that learner journey, we're starting with that idea of how can we help students just be good students. This is a little bit of a passion of mine as well, because I taught middle school, and we all know middle schoolers have this is a really key time for them to build some of those habits and strategies, and Canva has lots of templates that can support it. So one of the options that we have with Canva is goal setting templates. So as I go through these slides, and I apologize, this first part is a little bit slide heavy, but I'm going to cruise through it and then we're going to get into exploring. Down here in the bottom, you're going to see this kind of toolbar here. If you see something that you're like, oh, I would use that in my classroom, or this is perfect for something, go ahead and make yourself a little mental note or jot a note. And this is the search term you would use to find these templates. And we're going to have an opportunity to do a little bit of a template dive today. So we're going to start with, again, talking about executive functioning. Canva has a lot of great goal setting templates. So this could be academic, personal, whatever that might look like. I love that students can type right in here. They can add graphics and images to really enhance that as well. So being able to kind of really be visual with those setting goals. We also have a lot of great planners and calendars and those types of things for our students. So this we talk a lot about at the beginning of a school year, but it's always a great reminder that not every planner is going to work for every student. So students being able to customize exactly what they need. Maybe it's hour by hour what they need to think about, or maybe they need an assignment list or a homework or some notes or a checklist. Maybe they need to see a whole week at a time to really plan their week out. So we have lots of great templates for student planners. They can create any theme they want. Maybe they want it to be cats or sports or whatever it might be. Planners are a great one. We also have a lot of trackers. So this one says habit tracker, but the best thing about Canva is everything is customizable. So maybe you have a student who needs this, or maybe you have a student who needs an assignment tracker or a reading tracker or something else. All you have to do is find one of these, change a little bit of the wording, and you have so many great opportunities to be able to support students and keep them on track. All right, next step in that learner journey is activating prior knowledge. So being able to think about what they already know and see and use that. One of the probably most common ways to activate that prior knowledge is using a KWL chart. So lots of great templates for those in Canva, all sorts of different visuals for all different subjects and topics. Being able to easily have students handwrite. You could do this independently, small group, whole group, collaboratively. Students can write. A lot of our templates, this one doesn't show it, but a lot of them will also have a second resource page where maybe if you have younger learners, they can drag and drop or things like that as well. So lots of great ways to capture student learning with Canva. And then brainstorming. So lots of great ways to brainstorm as well as we're activating that prior knowledge and making those connections. This can look so many different ways. It could be text-based. It could be collaborative. We're going to talk a lot today about those collaborative whiteboards where it's that infinite space where students can maybe put sticky notes and share their ideas and things like that. So brainstorms are great templates. Same with mind map. So a lot of times I think we hear mind map and we think about this traditional mind map. But there's lots of other ways to visualize the connection of those ideas right in Canva. So mind mapping is also a great opportunity to activate that prior knowledge. I feel like those also bleed into this one, which is capture student learning. So this is more about those visual thinking strategies. So as they are learning, how are we capturing that learning? With things like graphic organizers. So lots of great graphic organizers in Canva and being able to make those really visual. Again, you can edit and change any of them. So if you find one that has the right layout, if you might need to change a few words, but it's already ready to go for you. You can also search specific types of graphic organizers like Venn diagram, plot mountain, you name it. I think about this. I taught middle school ELA again for most of my career, and I did a lot of plot mountains, and it was so boring. It was like lines on a Word document. This would have been so much more engaging for my students to have really good visuals and be able to use images and text. We also have flashcards, the ability to create some flashcards and card sorting activities. With Canva, you can handwrite and draw as well. So being able to draw complex models or label things, as well as use manipulatives digitally or print them out. And then collaborative whiteboards. So again, we know we're going to talk a little bit about whiteboards. So being able to really use that small group, whole group collaboration. Canva has that infinite space where we can collaborate really easily. So whether that's, again, individual, small group, whole group, it could be a brainstorm. It could be, sharing ideas. There's exit tickets, you name it. There's so many great ways for students to create their own whiteboard or also to work collaboratively between teachers and students. Lots of great whiteboarding templates, and education whiteboard specifically is a great search term. All right, now into the meat of it. These are our project-based pieces, so demonstrating that learning. One thing you'll hear me say quite a bit through this section is that, one, it's going to support what you're already doing in the classroom. And two, it can really elevate and enhance some of those assignments as well. So one of the great templates that we have is infographic. This is how I started with Canva with my students in 2014. We were creating infographics. I love this as an alternative to like a poster or a one pager. There's so many different ways to use infographics. You can easily use this to show the process of something, to show step by step how something works. Students can share information. We have custom charts where you can put in data. They can show research or data that they've gathered. We also have a lot of horizontal infographics that work great for timelines, being able to show a timeline of something. So there's so many different ways to be able to elevate these. And you could add things like animated graphics. You can embed video into them. So lots of ways to also elevate these projects. Magazines are really fun. Again, this is a really great alternative to slides. So I always say if students can fill out a worksheet or create a set of slides about something, there is so much else they can do with that information to make it more engaging and exciting. And one of those is magazine. So instead of just creating slides, these are students who created an entire magazine about the solar system to make it more engaging versus just putting it on slides. We also have podcasting. And so being able to create podcasts, I taught ELA. So I know that there's a time and place to write the entire essay or whatever that might look like, report. However, I also think there's a really strong argument to have them take that essay and turn it into a podcast script. So being able to, or even just writing a podcast script, they can still, make their claim, find their evidence, support it with reasoning, but they can do that in a little bit more of a conversational way that brings it more real life. And so in Canva, you can grab a podcast cover, you can customize it, make it any theme or topic that you want. You can actually record yourself writing Canva, so students can record themselves, write over it. We also have a full audio library where they can use sound effects, add intro music, all of those things, and then share those with each other and have these little mini podcasts. So this is actually an example I stole from a friend who teaches 7th grade. They were doing westward expansion. And so this is such a great, again, opportunity for students to take that writing. I've seen this done as little as 2nd grade with book talks, all the way up to some high level AP science classes to make information more relevant and for students to process it in a different way. So lots of great ways to use podcasting. Explainer video. We also have a lot. I don't know why that one's not playing. So sorry. There we go. We also have a lot of great video tools in Canva. I think so often we hear video and we think huge production, and it doesn't have to be. It can be something as simple as grabbing a template. Canva has a full photo and video library. So dropping in some of those stock photos and stock videos, changing a little bit of text and adding animation. And now you can explain a topic, maybe summarize a chapter, maybe explain vocabulary, lots of easy ways to create a video that doesn't have to be a huge production. Game presentations. I guarantee most of our first thoughts with game presentations are, Jeopardy style games and things like that. We do have those. However, we have lots of other ones that students can create to have a little bit of fun. So, trivia games, board game style games, interactive games, lots of different options for students to show what they know through a little bit of gamification. And then comic strips. This is also one of my absolute favorites. I did a lot of digital comic strips when I was in the classroom. My students were always in like a bunch of different tabs trying to copy and paste and bring things over. And this just makes it so easy because they have access to everything in one space. They have graphics and photos and anything they want. We also have a lot of great templates. Like this is a good example where there is like an example of a comic strip, then a blank one, then cats with no faces, then their faces, and then some speech bubbles. So if you have learners who are going to really just get bogged down with the entire element library, we have a lot of templates that have these resources where they can copy and paste and drag and drop and add their own text. So it makes it really simple as well. You can also elevate these types of projects by adding things like animated graphics. You can bring your comic strips to life. I just worked with students who were able to take pictures of themselves with their Chromebook, bring that picture into Canva, remove the background right in Canva, and then put themselves in their comic strip and then animate. So lots of great options. And then the last piece of that learner journey, again, we don't want to forget, this is one that often gets left behind, is just reflection in the classroom. So being able to reflect on learning, whether that's, again, individual, small group, whole group, exit tickets, so many great ways to use this in the classroom. A lot of ways for students to reflect on what they've done. All right, so that was, I know that was a little slide heavy, so sorry about that. So it sounds like we have a lot of new users. So let's talk about how to get into Canva, how to use Canva. Let's walk through a few of these tools that you have available in the time that we have left. And then we will wrap up with sharing and how to get stuff to and from your students. So when you log into Canva, it should look something like this. So as you're getting logged in, if you want to log in and follow along, I highly recommend that. It will look something like this. Again, in the upper right-hand corner, you should see the name of your school in that upper right-hand corner when you log in. So you should see the name of your school. On the home page, you should see, if you've been in Canva, maybe you haven't, you'll see any of your recent designs here. You'll see these quick buttons right here. And then on the left, you will also see a projects tab. I always highlight this and remind people because often people create and then they don't know where it goes. Everything you do goes into this projects tab. It's like your drive for Canva. So it's kind of like your Canva drive. So everything you create is going to be in here. Under this, you can also, this is helpful to let students know as you're working as well, that they can create folders to keep themselves organized. You can have all of your resources here. So always helpful to let them know all of their stuff they create will be in projects. You also have a templates tab on the left where you can explore the template library. So you can scroll and you can look for things. It's going to recommend things. A lot of them are going to be education specific. So if you want to play in video or presentations, those infographics are here and there's so many good ones. Yours is going to always look a little different than mine, just depending on what I've been creating. But we have things like, schedules, again, calendars. Group work is, especially as we talk about student learning, group work is a fantastic search term in Canva to find those really collaborative templates. Newsletters, brainstorms, mind maps, all sorts of things. And then at the very top of Canva, you can also search for absolutely anything. So maybe I want a graphic organizer. I can search for graphic organizer. And it's going to show me, always make sure Canva templates is selected as well. So here are all kinds of different graphic organizers, KWL charts, close reading, just all kinds of things, plot mountains, different pieces. You can also search even more specifically. So if I want a plot mountain or I want a Venn diagram, I can search for that. And it's going to give me more specific pieces that fit that theme or fit that topic. I can also search by topic. Maybe I really want a project. Maybe I want something on the solar system. I can search solar system and I can find different pieces there, or flashcards or activities, or again, the possibilities truly are endless, and getting students to really find the searches. Whiteboards, again, are more of that infinite space. So many different options. So lots and lots of options, again, using that search term or exploring the template library. I do want to give you a few minutes to do that since I gave you so many ideas in all of those slides. So let's take just a few minutes, maybe a quick, we'll say 4 minutes, to explore through that template library, see what you find. If you find something or you're excited, drop it in the chat. Let us know what kind of piques your interest. I don't think my sound will come through, but I'll put on 4 minutes on the timer, give us a chance to kind of search through some templates, and then we'll dive into some of the tools that are available to you and your students as you're creating. Oh, one last thing. If you find a template you like, when you click on it to preview, you'll see this. You'll see the preview of the pages. You'll also see a purple customize button. When you click customize, it will make a copy of this template and save it to your projects tab for you so that you can find it after the session today. So customize will allow you to make a copy. So let's take about 4 minutes and explore. Let us know if you have questions or what you're finding, and then we will dive into tools. So let's take about 4 minutes. All right, so hopefully we're having some fun finding different templates and seeing what you can create in Canva. As we kind of wrap this down, I am going to go back to my templates tab. Perfect. Go back to that templates tab. I am going to search in the templates for comic strips. If you would like to do this and follow along, that would be great. If you opened something else and already have something else open, you're welcome to create in whatever you have open. But if you want to do this with me, I'm going to go through and do it in a comic strip. Great question. I can see in the chat about timers. I just realized I probably should have shared that. If you are in a presentation template or a whiteboard template, you will have timers down here along the bottom where I can add minutes and seconds, and I can change the sound here. And there's actually 5 sounds. My sound is not coming through. Thank you to John who's playing extra sound for us, but there are some sound options. So you have to be in a presentation or a whiteboard template for the timer to show up here as well. So excuse me, that is where you'll find it. Great question. Okay. So under templates, I'm going to search at the top for comic strips. I am going to start in a comic strip. But again, if you have something else open or you found something exciting, please feel free to work in any design. I just think that's fun to show this one. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab a really simple one, choose customize, and open a design so that I have a design open in our design editor. So this is what it will look like when you're in the design editor here. You'll have your page in the center or your design in the center, pages along the bottom, and then icons on the left. So our first tab is always design, and design is just our template library. So you can always grab a template from in here if you get one and you don't like it. And then on the left, you also have elements. So I want to walk through some of the things you have available under elements to be able to kind of create in Canva, and your students can create in Canva, but also elevate some of those creations as well. So under elements, under the section that says graphics, so elements and graphics, you can search for anything you can imagine. So elements and graphics, let's say I'm creating a comic strip and maybe I'm creating it about, I don't know, let's say the solar system. I'm on a solar system kick this week. We'll stick with solar system. So maybe I want a rocket ship. If I search elements and I go into graphics and I search for a rocket ship, I have so many different options in here you can see. Some of them are animated, some of them are static. There's all different styles, all different options here. So I can take whichever one I like. Maybe I like this one and just add it to my page. So this is where I can get really creative and add things like animated graphics to something like a comic strip. So I could have my little rocket ship here. And again, I'm in elements and graphics. I can search for all sorts of options and have a little bit of fun adding some extra pieces. Maybe I also want to search for, I don't know, planets. Maybe we'll search for some planets. Again, all different styles. You'll notice all kinds of themes. There's so many fun options in here. Maybe I like this little one with the smiley face. Maybe we'll add this one in here too. Things like that. So graphics is where you're going to get a lot of what we add to our design. Again, animated graphics, non-animated graphics, all sorts of options. Under elements, as you scroll down, you also have a full photo library. So a couple of things I want to highlight with that is I can easily come into the photo library and grab a background for my comics. It could build it with a bunch of elements as well. Some kids really love having that creative freedom, but maybe I just want to put in, we'll say outer space. Maybe I just want to put in something like this with the stars. I can easily grab this picture, put it up here. And then one of my favorite buttons in Canva that often gets missed that really helps with these types of projects and really helps our students is in this top toolbar. At the very end, you have a button that says position. Position allows us to move things like forwards and backwards, and you can also toggle over to the layers and you can see what's in front or in back. So now my little stars are in front of everything. I can move it behind, or I can use the forwards and backwards, and now my rocket ship is in front of my photo. So position is such a great opportunity, again, to really be able to easily see what is where and how to adjust things. So I can, in photos, I can again grab a photo for a background, but I could also grab a photo. Let's say I want an astronaut. Okay, this one makes me laugh. I won't use him, but I searched this the other day. There's a kitty astronaut for those who want. Maybe I want a cat astronaut in my comic strip. Who knows? But maybe, some students that I work with, they don't like the cartoony style of some of our graphics, and they like the more, realistic looking pieces. So I could come in here and find a photo of an astronaut. And then when I click on my photo, maybe I don't want this background though. Any photo in Canva, when I click on the photo, in our top toolbar, I can remove the background. So I can just click BG remover. And now I have a little astronaut that looks a little more realistic. So it's, again, great for students who want something maybe more realistic looking or a little different style. This is also really great because under uploads, students can bring in their own pictures, video, or audio. So maybe they want to bring in a picture of themselves. They can remove that background and add themselves to their comic strip or to their any design that we're creating. So again, any photo in Canva, you have that background remover right here, and you can easily just take the background out to add it to your design. One last thing I want to highlight under elements is that we also have a full video library. So same thing, I can search outer space. I can find, maybe I want my comic strip to have more moving backgrounds. I think that one's barely moving. Maybe something really simple. Maybe that's too much. Maybe just like That's a lot. Maybe like this one. Slightly moving without being a little overwhelming. Hard to see, but it is moving. So I could also use video as a background instead of just photos. So again, I can go to position, we'll move it backwards. So my little planet's on top, and there we go. So lots of different ways to really elevate some of these traditionally static projects, and I'm doing it all without ever leaving Canva. All right, one last really awesome option is to be able to click on an object in Canva. And at the top in our toolbar, you have an option that says animate. So I clicked on my rocket ship. I can choose animate at the top. And then I can choose this option that says create an animation. Then I can click and hold and drag. And I can custom animate my object. Oh, I think it's going to go behind that video. Oops. Let me pull that video all the way to the back. There we go. So again, I can custom animate that object. I can also toggle this switch on. So now I can make it look like that rocket is flying around my comic strip and it will land. So again, so many different ways. I can animate graphics that are already animated. I can take the static photo. So this could be, you know, a photo of your student who brought himself into Canva, and I go to animate and that create an animation. And then I drag, click and hold and drag. Maybe he's going to slowly float. We have lots going on now. But you can easily animate animated graphics. You can animate static graphics. You can do all sorts of things to kind of make these a little bit more engaging and exciting. So again, and I can preview that. So if we want to watch it all together, you can see my little videos a little bit stalling. There we go. It's just it is playing. It's hard to see that bottom one is a video. But again, you're really elevating. So think about interactive timelines, comic strips, even presentations where students can, you know, use that animation to show what they know or to just be creative. So again, clicking on an object, choosing animate, and then create an animation allows you to customize that. You can use photos and videos. You can background remove your pictures, all kinds of options. I know, I love it, right? So fun. Okay, the last kind of tool that I really do want to talk about that I think is probably one of the most valuable tools in Canva that gets hidden all the time is under uploads. So it lives under uploads. So just like I said a minute ago, you can bring in your own pictures, video, and audio to be used in a design. So if I wanted to bring in, I don't have a lot of pictures of me in here, at least not up at the top, but I could bring in, again, photos and things like that to add to a design if I wanted to bring myself in. I can also bring in videos that I've recorded, but I can also record myself. So I think this is such a great option. I don't know if this is going to work with StreamYard, but we're going to try. Oh, it does. Oh, there we go. So I can record myself right in Canva. So I can record myself. I can record myself and my screen or just my screen right here in Canva. This is really fun. I actually did this with 5th graders not that long ago. But on my video, I have a little filter icon. So I have all these options. I used to do historical newscasts with my kids. I could have made myself, this would have saved me so much time because I always had to go back afterwards and do all of it. Also, the kids found this. They were doing sci-fi comics. I could turn myself, if I wanted to be an alien in outer space, I could use the color pop, turn myself green just for fun. And then when I hit record, it's going to count me down. And right now I'm just recording over my slides. I did add a second page just to show. When I navigate between my pages, I can continue recording or pause and navigate. And then when I'm done, I just choose done and save. And it will drop that recording right on the page. But my favorite part is it always knows where I changed pages. So it will break that video apart for me. So it knows where I changed pages and it will separate those videos so that if I mess up, I only have to delete the one I messed up on. It doesn't impact any of the rest of the video, which just means it allows students to not have to start over a whole bunch of times or stop and re-record. they can easily just record and then just pick the part they messed up on and re-record that one part. So such a time saver in the classroom. You can also take that video, and the same as we did with our photo, in this top toolbar, I can choose this BG remover, click that. It is going to kind of count down. It might take a second. Mine's been a little slow yesterday and today, but it will remove the background from any video right in Canva as well. So no green screen required, even though I'm green in this one, fun. No green screen required. It will actually just take out the background, and then I could put myself, here we go. I could record myself and put myself over any other photo or video or right into my project. So super easy, fun ways to be able to really elevate some of these, again, traditional standard projects. So that one's thinking about it, but then it will pop me right in there. So lots of ways to be creative and have a little bit of fun. So love that. Upload, record yourself. And again, that BG remover here will allow you to remove the background. The other thing, once it loads, it's not all the way done. Once it's done, you also have, we have something that's a little bit newer that I think has so many great, I don't know why it's still there we go. So many great options, especially if you think about a busy classroom and students recording in a classroom. When you have a video in Canva next to background remover, you also have an audio button. On this audio button, you have this option here to enhance your voice. Enhancing your voice will remove some of that background noise and really isolate in on the voice. So if you're doing this with students and they're worried about, all of the external noises, this is also built right into Canva. And I can enhance my voice to kind of drown out some of those background pieces. So again, background remover, we have audio, we have that enhanced voice, and I'm not even leaving Canva. So lots of great options there. All right, you can handwrite and draw in Canva. I did talk about that a little bit. So I could write and draw if you have students who really want to do some handwriting or drawing. I skipped over this, but we also have text if you want to add text boxes. We have different text effect combinations, which is really fun. So you could easily grab any one of these and customize it, things like that. So again, you have text, we have those uploads, draw, and then we also have apps. One thing I will say about apps is there are a lot of third parties, so just be really mindful around your students. Probably are not going to have hardly any of these, so just be mindful. But the only one I do want to point out is Translate. You can translate any Canva design into more than 100 languages. So that's super helpful when it comes to being able to, work with your language learners. If students need to write in their native language and translate back to English, all sorts of options with that Translate. All right. So that is kind of all of the tools that we have available. There's so many more, but as we think about student learning and what's really valuable for students and their projects, those are some ideas that we have. I don't see too many questions coming through the chat, and I think we caught them all. But if there are questions or you need to see something again, please don't hesitate to drop those in the chat as well. So don't hesitate to drop those in the chat. I think we're going to wrap up today talking a little bit about sharing and publishing. So sharing how we get this to and from our students and what that looks like. So perfect. I just had to remind myself whether we were, so Google Classroom is, I know, our main LMS. So I want to just talk a little bit about ways you would get your stuff and your students would get their assignments to and from Google Classroom. So under the share button, you have some options. The first thing you'll see is the ability to type in someone's name and share directly with them. We do not recommend having students share their work with you this way, only because your Canva is going to get so full of their stuff. You're going to have a hard time being able to sort through that. So we don't usually recommend this as often. We do recommend a lot of link sharing, and then we'll talk about Google Classroom too. So you have an option to link share any design, and students do as well. Every design is always private to you unless you choose to share it. When you drop this down, your students are only going to have these first two options. The first one is private. The second one should be the name of that school team that you're in. So their school team. So they can only share in their school team. If students were to create a design or create a project and you did not give them a template, you just let them pick their own and create, one of the ways that students can submit is they can go in here, change this link over to the school, hit copy, paste that into an assignment in Google Classroom, and then submit it to you. And then you will have access because you should be in the same school team as your students. So again, changing that link to the school team is one way that students can submit work. If you wanted to do collaboration with your students, you could also do the same thing and take this collaboration link. The anyone in my school can edit. It does not make it discoverable. You still have to share the link, but you could take that link, put it in Google Classroom. Students can click on it and get dropped into the design, and you could work collaboratively together. So that's another way you would collaborate, hence collaboration link. You as a teacher do have a third option that students do not, and that is anyone with the link. That means anyone outside of that school team. So if you're at this school and someone's at this school and you want to work together, you would use that anyone with the link, email them the link, and you could collaborate with another teacher. We could collaborate together, basically anyone with a Canva account. And then under share and see all, there are 3 other important buttons. One of them is template link. Template link forces a copy for anyone who has that link. There is also public view link. Public view link is a published version of your design. And then you have Google Classroom. Google Classroom is where you are going to be able to push things to and from Google Classroom. So when I click on Google Classroom and choose continue, I can choose my class. Then I can choose an option. I can create an assignment. Assignments automatically generate that template link. I can also ask a question. These are more view versions of the material you're sharing. So assignment will generate that template link. These will generate view versions. If you create an assignment, push it out to students, make sure you put a due date on it or students cannot submit it. Students go to Google Classroom, they click on that link, it makes them a copy in Canva. They can then go to share Google Classroom and send it back to you through Google Classroom. So I know we have some resources on that. We have some videos out there and things like that. So you do have that Google Classroom button here. And then we also have, again, that public view, published version, template link forces a copy. Lastly, you can download any of your designs, whether you want to print them, or that's another way students can submit is to download and upload. You can download in a variety of formats. If you have animation, it might be a video. If you have just static, you can download it as a PDF and then upload that back into something. So that's kind of the ins and outs of sharing. All right, I know we're a little early on time, but just checking, are there any questions in the chat or anything from the EdTech team that I might have missed or that I haven't covered? Otherwise, that's kind of the ins and outs of creating and using Canva with students in the classroom. I don't see anything.
No, I don't see any questions coming through. I'm still clicking around. I always learn something at these Canva trainings. So I'm excited when I finally get the polls active on my account. I'm excited to start using those maybe for intros, little icebreakers throughout training. So I'm really excited, and I'd love for people in the chat to post anything new maybe that you learned during this training, if there was anything that was kind of like an aha moment for you.
I would, love to see what you're excited about.
And I know there's a little bit of a lag, but we always appreciate Janice doing this training for us.
Yeah. I know, we'll give it a second. I know with that YouTube sometimes, but there's always going to be updates too. I'm so excited about other things that are coming. Captions and translatable captions are coming to video. That's also coming out in 2 weeks. So that'll be really exciting. I love it. Starting to deep dive in all the graphics. You could spend so long with graphics. That's my favorite thing to share. Using those search terms, using those styles, so many things you can create. Yes, I love it. Anything else? Oh, yes, lots of great newspaper templates. I love that. Lots of great, even some writing organizers for that journalism piece. There's also a lot of great like project planning templates. That's really great to work with students on tracking those like project planning pieces or how to kind of keep track of what they're working on. I don't know how to explain that very well, but like, you know what I mean? Being able to do those. Those are really great templates as well. Yes. Translatable captions, I know are going to be so exciting. Editable translatable captions. Yes, all the subject areas are available in those graphics as well. Lots of school flyers. I love all these ideas. These are fantastic. I love it. Awesome.
Well, great. So some of those things that you guys are talking about creating, you can use for your implementation. So even though some of you might have had a little bit of an issue clicking on the launch and e-learning, you should be able to click on module 2, which is the implementation. So that's how you're going to get your in-service points. You're going to submit implementation if you would like points for this training. Like the chat said, this video is going to live on our EdTech YouTube site. It's also going to be on our training site. So please feel free to come back, revisit, pause it, do a little trick on your presentation, and then press play and keep going. So this is, why we do this training, so that you guys have access to it, forever, right? So like and subscribe, so you get all those notifications. We'd love for you to join our mailing list. This is a list of all the trainings that we've done today. So if you missed one of those, please go back if something catches your eye. We'd love for you to subscribe to the mailing list, follow us on Twitter, visit the training website. We not only provide live virtual trainings, but also some asynchronous trainings, so you can do it at your own pace. We will be rolling out some Canva async courses as well, so you can do it on your own pace. In the spring, we're going to have some of those. So we thank you guys for joining us, and we hope you guys are really excited about technology and educational technology. We'd love for you to apply to present at the tech conference that we're going to have. We're still crossing our fingers to see if Janice is going to be joining us. But if you want to submit a proposal, not just for Canva, but if you have another technology that you use in your classroom that you would like to share with your colleagues, with anybody from the district, we'd love you guys to apply to present and join us at Dr. Joaquin Garcia High School in February to present something fabulous that other teachers can benefit from. And this is our ed tech team. There is one question in the chat if we're in threads. I don't think so, right, John? You can pop yourself up on the screen if you want.
No, we are not on threads, just X and YouTube and our website.
So, and you know where to reach me, Pearl, if you need any links or any other information. This is our ed tech team. Please feel free to reach out to any of us if you have questions, comments, concerns. We'd love to hear from you if you would like a deeper dive into any of these topics. Please reach out. I'd be more than happy to assist you with that. Thank you, Pearl. I'm glad you guys could all log in and participate in the training today. It was great seeing everybody.